All right, guys, here we go. September 23rd, 2014. We are now in the New York session. Here's what we're going to do. There's actually a chat box that's right below the Keys to Forex Success here on the website. You can see where my cursor is. Let's start using that, okay? We'll start using that to chat. One second, guys. Okay, there we go. All right. Turned off my squawk box there. It was definitely getting in the way. All right, so what are we looking for today? There's a couple of things that we're going to be looking to. We actually had some sell trades that we set up. We were looking for dollar strength on the euro dollar, dollar Swiss, pound dollar, etc. And we've seen the market really pass those levels. So on a day like today, where this is actually a perfect opportunity for us to see how that's going to go, how do we react to that? And, what do we do as professional traders in this space? So like right now, I'm going to actually put my auto rev in. And what I'm also going to do is I said that I was going to be looking for a sell right at about 12900 in direction of the sell. Now, what do we have and what did we see previously? Let's take a look at the euro dollar again. On this euro dollar, you can see that we had at 12900, there's a lot of support and resistance. There's actually a trend line that runs below here. All right, so that's about 129.13 actually is what we're going to be looking at. What I'm going to be looking for is a turnaround, a sell, right in this vicinity at this 12900 area, right? I'm going to actually look for a 1-to-1 ratio because we've had a tremendous amount of just buy pressure. It's just been a retracement fiasco, which makes sense. It's about that time for that kind of thing. All right, so what I'm going to be looking for is I'll be looking for sells in this vicinity between where we are right now. I'm actually going to put on my chart a 800 EMA because the 800 EMAs should be right above us. There it goes. All right, so out of this, we're most likely going to get a triple threat formation, depending on how the market closes. Now look, all the big news is coming out at 9 o'clock. So if I look at my Forex Factory, we've got the CAD, which is coming out at 8:30. That's big news because I was expecting we have predicted that the CAD would go up. So we were looking for the dollar CAD to have moved up in direction of the buy of the U.S. dollar buy. But, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. So 8:30 a.m., we're looking for the core retail sales, big numbers here on the CAD. And more importantly, we're listening for what the FOMC member Powell says as it comes out of that, because beyond that, we don't have a tremendous amount of news. So whatever news comes out, it's going to really be what he says at 9:20 a.m. So look for that. All right, so that's really where we want to be, and that's where we're really going to see the movement of the market and really see the intention of the market. So we're going to wait for it. Do you guys have any questions right off the bat? I'm going to open up my I really want to start having a Q&A session weekly so that everyone can have all their questions answered. This morning, guys, I actually I took a trade on the pod 3, really close to the pod 3 stronger, which was for me was at 128.90. That was a good opportunity, and second position actually went to break even. So I took this little one here. It's reversal candle, and it came down right about 11 pips or so. I was able to take profit on that. Worked out. The second position obviously went to break even. I'm looking for a bigger sell off of these areas because there's so much resistance here, for a pullback. And there are going to be days like that, guys. There are going to be days that are just not winners. They don't happen very often, but they do pop up. So it's important to take every trade and get involved as much as you can. I'm actually going to, by the way, I'm really looking into and doing proper research to see how I can properly get a trade copying kind of scenario going where everything is pretty much done on this side of it, and it's just completely copied to you seamlessly. So I'm really excited about that because it's going to open up a whole lot of space for a lot of different people working on that. So we had a few trades, guys, that would have taken. Let's talk about those. All right, so we have we called a sell at 128.75 on the euro dollar. All right, a buy at 0.9358 on the dollar Swiss. Pound dollar sell at 163.80. A buy at 108.56 on the dollar yen. Aussie dollar sell at 0.8897 and a buy at 1.1028. Okay, so some of those actually did take for our auto bias. I'm going to name them off. Talk about those trades right now. Setting up here and actually waiting for a euro dollar opportunity. Okay. All right, so first of all, let me say this about the pound dollar. So if you notice, the pound dollar has this long wick here. What is this? Right, so on the pound dollar, we actually took a sell initially. We had this beautiful kind of channel that had formed earlier. And so basically we had taken this is my demo, obviously. We had taken a sell, and we had called a sell at 1.6380. So if we go down to the lower time frame, let me get all this stuff off of it. We called a sell at 163.80. So where's 163.80? That actually worked out wonderfully well for us if you had gotten out of it there, and that's what I did. I saw this big beautiful reversal candle here, and you can see what happens. So price comes down, and we dropped quite a bit. I mean, I was up, 1 or 2% at the end of this. So we dropped 80 pips, 78 pips. From that 163.80 entry, we dropped 80 pips. That's just, 78 pips. That's a tremendous amount of pips to drop. And then you can see what happened in the next course of the next hour. Price just really retraced and really began to move up really, really strongly, which is was really interesting to watch. So where are we right now? What are we at on this? Price is already broken, but we've already come down 75 to 80 pips. So you could have easily taken profit. For me, on other accounts, that's exactly what I did. Do I see another retracement here? I think that there can be, but what we're noticing here is that as you look at this trend line, as you look at the upper trend line of this channel, price really broke through. Do I think that it's going to come back within it? It very well could, but I'd see potentially a big big consolidation that will form on the pound dollar, from what I can tell, and that's what I would gather. Now I can't tell you definitively just yet because it hasn't formed, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there. There should be some form of a holding pattern that we should see here. Now the pound is much stronger. But now you guys can actually see how we get those calls where we say, oh, the euro dollar or the pound dollar is, moved and moved to profit. So we got into it right here. We made that call, or I should say specifically, I made that call right here on the line of demarcation between September 22nd and September 23rd. This is the call that I made. It's 5 p.m. Eastern. Right here. You can see that price meanders along and then finally gets up to our entry point, which is right here. At that entry point, we get in and we sell price down. That's what we're looking for. Price sells off. Big sell-off here. And so that obviously is where you'd have taken profit. There's a tremendous amount of profit. There's a reversal candle in this vicinity, a beautiful triple threat formation right here as well, triple threat here as well. And really our stop would have been at 10.5 pips and runs down for about 80 from that point. And so that's where it's at. All right, so let's talk about where price is going right now. We've got 1 minute until a 15-minute bar is formed. I personally like to look at the 15-minute bars. See what we're looking at. Beautiful. All right, so this would be a good opportunity for us to take a trade. So if I have my auto sell looking for something, depending on how this forms here, but it should be a triple threat formation. And then we've got a lot of stuff going on here, guys. It's a double zeros. Double zeros. It's a 800 EMA. We also had a trend line in this vicinity. We had a pod 3 that I had seen on another FXCM platform, which is obviously not showing up here. All right, so our auto rev just picked that up. You just saw that. So I put the line on the chart. It's on there at 12900. And we have a sell trigger. Now when that forms, I know that my auto rev is in business, looking for the trade. It's looking for a break of that low so we can jump into a sell. It just go up, touch this 800, and then turn back around, of course. All right. I think you guys have me back here. There we go. Getting close. All right, guys. So while we're waiting for this, by the way, you may notice that there is a new tab here on our Tribe Forex site. It should say text message sign up. So in about a week, when people sign up, I'm going to go ahead and begin sending out text messages with the calls in them. So you just have to open up your phone and see what the calls are. Okay, and I'm actually going to put together an iPhone and an Android app, which should be extremely just convenient. Getting all your trade calls, getting access to other people from your mobile phone, getting our notifications right there. All right, so we just took a sell, guys, on the euro dollar. It's beautiful. It's moving down quite nicely. When you got the automation, there's not an awful lot to do here, but which is what you want. You don't want to have to do too much, manual work. Just kind of want to watch it. If you have any questions, guys, get back to me. Just let me know what's going on. So we've got Canadian retail sales that are coming up in about 10 minutes. and that can play in on our dollar CAD trade. Let's wait for it. I'm going to step away for a second. Hey, look, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, just shoot me a message. You can either shoot me a message here, although I prefer it to be on the tribe site on the live trade chat. I've got that open too, so. Great question. Why do you choose auto rev as opposed to auto bias? Actually, I love auto bias. Auto bias is so easy. Like if we had taken this trade with auto bias, it's almost guaranteed, in my opinion, it's a better long-term trade. I took the auto rev this time because, I just felt as though, I'm right here in front of my computer. It's just an easier trade to take from a leverage standpoint. I just wanted to go ahead and give it an opportunity to take a trade. And obviously, the thing I like about auto rev also is that it's got a confirmation. When price breaks the low, we confirm the intention of price, and it gives us a higher probability of success when you consider it that way. All right. So this time I chose the auto rev because I'm right there. It's kind of like if I wanted to take a reversal candle trade, I wanted to take the trade manually, but I don't want to take it manually because I'd have to figure out what my risk percent is, what my lot size is, where I'm going to put my stop loss, where I'm going to put my take profit, and it just makes it easier. So when I do my manual trades, I just like to set it up and let the auto rev run and take it. Especially when I'm in front of the computer, I get better leverage. The auto bias, though, overall, is what I use on a daily basis to take my trades because it's just so much easier to take trades. And for the long-term, viability and stability, it's just easy. It gets into one trade, that's it, and it's looking to see what the maximum favorable excursion is, how far price goes, hits our stop loss, moves to break even. Really simple trade, very, very simple strategy, and solid expert advisor. It's a good question, but so I prefer for long-term viability probably the auto bias for me because I like to sleep at night and I don't sit around a lot. And not saying that you can't do that with the auto rev. I just prefer the auto bias for kind of a long-term, more conservative trade. But if I'm in front of my computer, I definitely want to go for the auto rev, so I don't have to go through that myself. Markets wait until 8:30, obviously, so someone's looking at that CAD. Okay, our dollar CAD's definitely reacting off of the news, so definitely lower than expected on the dollar CAD, which should bump our dollar CAD up. You can see that it did bounce quite a bit. We were down quite a bit, and now it's moving up. There it goes. Dollar CAD was negative. It's moving into positive territory. right above 1.10 again. We're right at 1.1028. Big reaction here. Big 30 pip jump. That works now. All right, guys, now we'll just wait for it. See what happens. I think the real jolt that we'll probably get is going to be after 9:20. Because it's going to be a dollar for us. The dollar is going to be the real mover for the trades that we have on, because we have dollar strength trades. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait it out. Dollar CAD continues to move up, guys. That's good for our dollar CAD trade. The euro dollar is just kind of bouncing around here. So we'll see where we're at 9 o'clock. If we're still in this trade, if the market didn't take it out somewhere. So when we get that opportunity, which is going to probably come at 9:20, when the market really looks to where it can move, which obviously is going to be when Powell speaks, that's going to give us definitively give us some movement on the dollar, either for our benefit or to our detriment. We'll have to wait and see how that looks. That dollar CAD continues to run up, guys. All right, so we're getting some movement here. Our dollar CAD continues to move up on our dollar CAD buy, and our euro dollars in profit here. We just entered. There's actually a beautiful reversal candle on the 1 hour for the dollar CAD that we could have gotten in on as well beforehand. That would have been a beautiful opportunity. The CAD did have news coming out. It was red news. We could have easily just taken that one, really, and doubled up on our profits on that trade. Let me show you that one while we wait on this. So that's the 15-minute, didn't give us anything, but the 1 hour did. So 200 EMA right here. Now, if you've done the course, if you've done your work on the course, this is some of the more, not advanced, but certainly intermediate level stuff that we do. If I give you a direction of the market, you can just simply add it in here. And this would have been a beautiful reversal candle, really easily taken up. See this? This is a triple threat as well. But right here is a reversal candle. I'm going to add that in here. Right here. See, look, there are plenty of formations here, candlesticks. Candlesticks by themselves don't do anything. It's the candlesticks with the, moving average that I look at personally. I look at the pods. The pods are the most important thing. For me, anyway. You can see the opportunity here. Reversal candle, triple threat, boom. We're getting close. All right, so it's going to have to actually go past the TP just a little bit so that we can actually get the close because of the spread. I'm actually working on a grid trade that basically takes trades at the zones inside of the grid here, really taking advantage of the back and forth on the euro and the Swiss. God, I love what I do. I cannot tell you enough. Cannot emphasize that. So, guys, watch out for that. Anyway, back to business. By the way, guys, I will be in London. I'll be in London tonight, tomorrow. So if anyone wants to hang out, let me know. Love to meet with some of you guys. Whoever's in London. I'm already meeting up with some of our guys already, so just let me know if you're interested. Okay, I'll be right back. Awesome. Great to hear, Mike. So some of you guys actually traded, closed out for profit. Some of you guys already closed out for profit, depending on your broker. Who's your broker, Mike? And so did Erdem, I think. He also closed out for profit. He's out of this trade for first take profit. Okay, why do the pods not show up in auto bias? Listen, here's the reality, guys. This is what you got to know. Do not put any lines on the actual chart that you're trading the expert advisor on unless you want. Hold on one second, guys. One second. Wrong box here. Yeah, don't put any lines on your chart unless you want the EA to recognize them, because it's going to look for any line that it can find, and it's going to take the trade based on that. That's how that's going to look. Okay. So don't put that on there unless you really want to. Got to be very careful with that. Okay, we're getting to the 9 o'clock hour. 9:20, we're going to have some news. Oh, great. Beautiful engulfing candle forming on the 1 hour. So the trick to this is to not use any other lines on the chart that you don't want the EA to pick up. It's going to pick up trend lines. It's going to pick up also automatically any pods that you put on the chart. So if you haven't had the same results, or you've had multiple trades, that's probably why. That you feel as though you did not choose. That's probably why. All right, so consider that. You're going to want to do your analysis on a completely different chart that you're going to want to do your actual trading. Okay? So I do my analysis on one chart, and on another chart is where I actually put my I try to put my EA. So my EA on one, and then my charts for analysis on another. And my pods would obviously go on the chart for analysis. The line that I want is intentional that I put on the chart because I know that's what I want my EA to look for. Okay, I'm not going to put anything else there. So that's just a good tip. You can put the pods on almost anything that you want to, obviously. But it's going to get picked up. It's not ignored by the EA. All right, so we've got some news coming out on the euro, on the dollar, sorry. May give us some movement. No big deal. HPI. And then we've got Powell at 920. That's probably going to be a mover. I'm not trading the fundamentals, but there's going to be movement based upon the fundamentals at some time, most likely. They do correlate when the movements do occur. So if you're hearing me quote what's going on in the markets from a fundamental standpoint, that's what it's about. It's not to determine the direction of the market. It's more so to determine when that move is going to come.
Be right back in a couple minutes, guys. We're just going to watch and wait and watch this thing meander for just a bit. That's what it's going to do. Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Great. So, hi, Shirley. How are you? I see your message here. I didn't forget about you. Okay, so for those of you who just walked in, not just a few minutes ago, what we've done here is that we had a sell bias on the euro, and so we saw an opportunity on the 15-minute time frame to take a reversal candle. Now this was a triple threat formation. You can see the 3 right over here. There are a few reasons why we took this trade. We had the 800 EMA. For me, there was a pods that was there, and again, another reason that we took a sell here was at 12900, 1.2900, which is a double zeros. So for all those reasons, we had good reason to believe that price was going to move down. We got into it. Price did move down, moved up first, then moved down. Some people actually got out of the trade for profit already on the first position, and so that's where we are right now. Okay, and this was during the about 8 to 8:30 time frame that we actually got in this trade, and right now we're waiting for is more movement. And what we have up on the calendar that we're waiting for is basically FOMC member Powell. He's actually speaking, although he's already said that he's not going to be speaking too much about Fed policy. So they'll be listening in for, or we'll be listening in to see what he says, if it's going to move us forward on our agenda, which our agenda obviously is to make money on this sell. So I'd love for this thing to come back down quite a bit. So guys, there's a couple things I can say about what we've done here. Number one is when we have a sell bias, I give you potential entries, okay? And those work out a lot of the time, about 80% of the time. But even when price passes those areas, there are still opportunities on the sell side if you look at where the pods are. So basically we took a trade, a sell here based upon the pods, right? So I'm giving you a full system. It's just not just a signal, just a signal by itself. It's actually a multi-dimensional opportunity that you can build on in your understanding and in your approach that can, keep you making money and be flexible enough for you to profit in different markets, even when it's not spot on. Okay. So we've taken a trade right at the 800 EMA. It's worked out for us thus far. For many people, they got out. We're waiting on our exit here.
Okay, I think I'm going to give it another 15 minutes
for the session. We basically had, this is the movement that we've had, and so I can be clear about this. So we've had adverse movement. We expected dollar strength. We haven't gotten for the majority of the session, or these last two sessions, meaning the London session and the New York session, we haven't had a tremendous amount of dollar strength. We are experiencing moderate dollar strength right now in the trade that we're in, so we are in profit on this euro dollar sell that we're in currently. As far as our overall biases, that sort of thing, the pound dollar had a very good opportunity, and that did well. So we basically were looking to sell the pound dollar at the 163.80 mark. So we got into the trade, or we made the trade call here. We would have gotten into the trade over here with the 10 pip stop, and you would have had an 80 pip run down here, okay? And obviously it just turned right back around and headed back up, and that's what happened here on the pound dollar. But really big run down, and that was one of the trades that worked out for us here. The other trades, not so much. I mean, our dollar yen is actually moving up now, so that's great. So the dollar is actually moving up here with the dollar yen where we are. What else is there? You're right, our euro dollar, obviously. We do have some losses, though. Let me take a look at my overall trades. Dollar yen. Yep. So I had a dollar yen buy, and hit my dollar yen buy, and now it's in profit. Yeah, there it goes. Just like that. All right, so my dollar yen's in profit. So we profit on the dollar yen, profit on the pound dollar. We had a sell on the Aussie dollar, and that profited and is in profit right now. Our dollar CAD, we're currently in. It had a massive shoot up, which got us back in the game, but we're still not there yet. So it's kind of it's slightly in negative territory at this second. Like I said, euro dollar sell, we're in that. Looking for a drop on that. That's going to be good for us. So some of you actually got out at the TP here when we barely touched the TP. It happens. You know, it depends on the broker. All right, so here's a question. How often do you do the live trade sessions? We actually do them once a week right now. I'm willing to do it more than once a week if we get people who want to do it. Me personally, guys, I got to be honest with you. I trade maybe a couple times a week. You know, I put my trades on and I let them run. So I don't spend a lot of time in front of my computer if I don't have to. It's the whole point of having automation. But and I like to get into my trades, make some money, and be done for the week. I like that a lot. So if we have a really good day, then that's the day that I'll trade really, really well. And that's just the lifestyle I want. I put the trade calls out. They work, right? And sometimes there are big days that I miss that I could have. But you know, if your goal is and you say I want to make 5 or 10%, you're at your mark. That may be your style. So it's up to you. And that's on most of my accounts. So the live trade sessions, this European session, we had a senior member who led the European session, okay? And you're going to learn everything just as much as he did, okay? And you'll be able to lead these live sessions as well. Right now, as far as senior members are concerned, it's Nino, Fred, who could lead a live session, and probably Callie. right now. So there, beyond that, you'll be able to do that over time with just practice of what we're doing here. And you can see that it's just really, it's like a walk in the park. I mean, really is. It's not, you know, whether this trade wins or loses, it's really not. It's neither here nor there. Over the long haul, because we're taking right action, we have a strategy that really does work in this market. It's going to work, right? Or that's the highest probability. All right, so we're getting close to our take profit again. Hey. Love to see that just break through that and keep on running down. It's always nice to get a little bit of profit. I'm in that live too, so I'd love to see that before we get out of here. See that just take profit before we close out the session. Before we close this session out. So we're like just a few pips away from take profit. Don't tease me, please me. Forex market drop just a little bit more. That's what we're looking for. Now, guys, if there's something that you want, for instance, I want to have a Q&A session where I answer questions about the EAs, I answer questions about the website, just whatever questions that you guys may have about whatever. I'd like to have a Q&A session, but I need to get feedback from people as to what they want and what they need. Like Mike's talking about, you know, how many sessions that we have. It's a matter of making a request. And if enough people are in accord with that, in agreement with that, then we increase the sessions. We get more senior members to kind of, you know, pitch in, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Shirley, are you from the United States? You are. I think you're a U.S. citizen. I'm not sure. Are you? No. Where are you from? Or where are you located currently? That'll tell me which broker most likely you can use. Canada. Okay. Let me think. You know, we've had a lot of success, or I've had a very good relationship over time with ATC brokers. And I don't want to, you know, refer to you a broker. I did that a few years ago with PFG Best, if you guys remember that. And I had money with them, and they were undercapitalized. So this is actually a request that I would make in front of the entire environment, the community. Yeah, so ATC is pretty good. They're a pretty good broker. The reason why I'm in hesitation about this is because I'm thinking about doing a trade copying service, and I got to make sure that all brokers are going to work with that. Okay, I want to make sure that we all are able to get in the same trades, and it just works perfectly for those of you who want to do it. Right. I know you can use a U.S. broker, but honestly, there are restrictions that I would never wish upon my worst enemy with U.S. brokers that we have to deal with. So you have more freedom. Okay, great. When would a Q&A be good, Shirley? Give me an idea, because that's what I'm looking for. I need to have more contact with you guys directly, and I'm not getting that enough. So I need to, I want to do a Q&A, but I need to know when is good for a Q&A. I can do that probably weekly, but I need to know when that's going to be. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. So, Shirley, when do you think? Probably a good day and time I'm thinking is like Monday, but I'm not sure at what time would be appropriate. All right, so we've got some news coming out of U.S., but this thing is just going to bounce around.
57.9. It's 57.9 for the PMI, the factory with the employment component, highest since March 2012.
Most likely.
So the employment index at 56.6, that improves from 54.6. Again, that's the highest since March 2012. The headline is pretty much in line with expectations at 57.
U.S. manufacturing PMI, 57.9. Expected was 58. So it's not good or bad. It just is kind of there. I expect price action to kind of bounce around from here. It may just come back down, hit our TP on this one, or close out. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's see what else. Is there any other news that can move it? Really give us something to work with. Yeah, 57.9. We don't have anything till 2 o'clock that could move us.
So 15 minutes following the US Open, then we have opened in the red alongside European indices. However, the losses in the US are far more muted than the European counterparts. In Europe, we're still down to the tune around 1.5%. However, the S&P just lets it losses around 0.25%.
All right, so a quick wrap up, guys, as to how the session went. So we had a euro dollar sell that we were looking for, and the euro dollar sell, well, the trade that we took actually looked pretty good for us at first, and we're still running it. We'll see what happens there. We're looking for a sell at 128.75. Right now we're at 128.89, so it's down about 14 pips. Same thing on the dollar Swiss. We're looking for a buy on 93.58. And we're actually above that. So yeah, we did have price move up from 93.58. So we're in positive territory, and it looks like it can continue to move up. And it was up a bit more here. Now the pound dollar actually did exactly what we wanted it to, and it happened right around here. We were looking for a sell at 1.6380, and you can see that the market dropped. Hold on. The market dropped precipitously down to about 78 pips of profit. That was great, right? So beautiful move here, down there on the pound dollar, and you can see that it just bounced all the way, came all the way back up. So we obviously won that one quite well, and that's very, very clear. Now the dollar yen, we had a buy at 108.56, and you can see here that our buy, we're clearly above our buy at 108.56. That was here. You can see that price came down and really made its way right back up on the dollar. So we are witnessing some dollar strength here. Our Aussie dollar was a sell at 0.8897. And so you can see clearly that the Aussie dollar did sell off very, 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 very nicely at 88.97, really coming back up, spotting here, and then just dropping. Beautiful, beautiful opportunity for us. This is 88.97. 39, about 40 pips is where we're at right now. No trade on the New Zealand, no trade on the Euro Yen, which they did. What did they do? What did it do? It actually moved up, so it bought. And we had a buy again on the pound yen. So good for us there that we didn't take that. And our dollar CAD. So our dollar CAD, we're looking for a buy at 1.1028. So that's really right here. It's above where we are right now. Go down to the 15-minute. We're on the one, and you can see that it's actually close. It's, you know, it can actually happen. We can end up in positive territory from where we are right here. It's just a matter of, you know, what happens, what's going to be said with the Fed in the next couple sessions. It really is. It's going to be just, you know, we're just so close to it. So anything can really happen there. And of course, we took a discretionary trade here on the euro dollar, which is currently up. Right, almost hit our first take profit. Some of us actually did hit our first TP, take profit. Hey, Callie. Let me know how that goes. So we've got some really seasoned, awesome traders who've been with me for a long time. And I'm glad to have them be my, my brothers and sisters in arms, or brother and sister in arms here. Fred's been with me for a long time. Bond, you've been with me for a long time. Absolutely. Of course, Nino, for a long time. And Callie, just a pleasure to work with you, as always. Bond, what I want you to do is you need to start using the, like I told you before, to use the auto bias until you get that under control. That's what's necessary. You just need to start using the auto bias. You need to start getting some winners first. Once you take trades with the auto bias, then I'll get a senior member to come in and to oversee you on the auto rev. So this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that people are getting it, that no one gets left behind, and everyone gets it. And it's just a matter of following through. So if you be in communication, if you have an issue, if you're not getting the same results, just be in communication, which is what I built Tribe Forex for, so that we can actually be a community. We can really be a tribe together, and really make sure that people are in communication about what's going on with them, and so we can kind of ensure success. Before, in my previous model, the issue was that I was so distant from everyone else because it was just an EA-based product. It was a algorithmic-based product. And so this way I can always be on the pulse of what's important. Sure, Shirley. What do you you know what, I'll have somebody contact you. I'll have probably Nino contact you. Nino, did you get that? Shirley.
I heard you said that you wanted to probably contact me, but I didn't hear.
So check your be checking your messages, Shirley, on Tribe Forex. Yes, using different brokers can also lead to varying results. Like some traders are already out of the room because they already hit their first take profit on this trade that we're in right now. I don't really want to sit around and watch this thing either, but you can find the auto bias download actually on the main page. I've actually just placed it on the main page according to what Mike said. Mike actually recommended it, so we went with it. Thanks, Mike. So it's now under the quick start guide. So as soon as you go to FX Training Center, it's going to be there. Don't worry, it's a simple question. You can ask any question you want, Richard. Everyone. There's no stupid questions, period. No stupid questions, period. V says, enjoy fish and chips in London. I will. So guys, anyway, for anyone who's in London, I'll be in London. And for the few people who are in, I know that we've got some people in Spain as well. I'll be coming through Spain as well later on, but I'll be in London for a conference. And in this week, this entire week. Thanks, Fred. Remind me about that later, and I'll add that in. I'll make sure that it's an input. Yeah, remind me about that later on today. Dollar Swiss is moving up. If it breaks that trend line, then we're in business as far as our euro dollar sell as well here on this side. Let's see what my spread is. Spread right now on the dollar CAD is 2.5 pips. What do you get, Mike? Oh, who's your broker? ATC spread is 0.5 pips. Yeah, time to make a change. Nice. Divisa. Where are you out of, Mike, if I can ask? Beautiful. UK. Okay. Yeah, so we kind of get the short end of the stick, if you will. We kind of get the shaft in the United States, to be honest with you, when it comes to brokers. So, you know, I'm glad that at least we have the opportunity. Love to do what I'm doing, and I'm glad that we have the opportunity to do it here in the U.S. But it definitely is restrictive. It's a lot easier to do this in London and different places like that. ATC's got a London. I thought they had a London office, Fred. I remember talking to the owner a couple years ago, and he said they had a London office, that it was out of London. Right. So there's no FIFO with ATC? First in, first out? Fred? It works the same exact way as FXCM did? Oh, beautiful. Okay, I got it. And so there's no FIFO, and there's no first in, first out, and you can have you can probably hedge trades during the day, so you can have a buy and a sell as long as it's during the same day. Oh my goodness, yeah. So FXCM is not the best for that, although FXCM is who backs ATC. So if any of you are looking for something, I know that I've spoken to the owner for years of ATC brokers, and he's a very, very good man. He seems like a very good man, very consistent over the years. So, you know, I'm actually going to probably get back with them on that side as well for the time being. My concern is that I really want to do a trade copying service for people who are just getting in, like Shirley, you know, people who just want to have an account that they know it's, you know, is going to get traded properly. Having had a track record in the past and that sort of thing. So I'm trying to figure out what that's going to take and what that's going to require and what broker will be able to accommodate us with that. So I'm working out the details right now. I'll keep you guys posted for that. I mean, because after that, it's pretty much you can build your track record while you're learning how to trade this system properly. And that's what I would love to be able to offer you guys, because then you have your life. Everything changes. It's what you need is a track record. Then you can start living off of this thing. I'm working on it, Shirley. I'll let you know. So the dollar's moving up, definitely dollar strength here. We're right back. It's like it's teasing us with this TP, with this take profit. It's just like right there. I don't want to kind of, I mean, by now I would have just gone about my business doing life, you know. But especially because I've got to get ready for a flight in a few hours. But I really want to close this one out with you guys. We're really close, so we may very well be able to close this out. Yeah, Shirley, that's what I would, you know. But you know, it doesn't cost you anything to take a, you know, to change a broker. So you can get into one broker. I know it's a pain. It'll be a pain to get into one broker and then switch to another, but you can get into like an ATC broker, and if they can't accommodate us, then, you know, we can get in on another one if necessary. But ATC, I think, you know, they're legit, definitely legitimate company, and they have got good intentions, good purpose, and they have followed through with their promises in the years that I've known them, and I've been a part of that. So. All right, so it looks like it's going to bounce around here, guys. We got so close again to our TP, like right there, and it's just playing around. It's just jumping around. Nothing's really happening. You know, it's just bouncing in that range between 128.75 and 128.90, 128.87, 128.90. So that 15 pip range is just bouncing around. Okay, my euro dollar has a red dotted sell trigger line at 128.65. Should I cancel that or let it run? Yeah, the trading day is pretty much over, Bond. So you just go ahead and click off the auto sell since you're not in the trade. That's what I would do. I mean, it could drop the entire way, but I don't know why you have a sell line either. Let's see what's there for you. Yeah, it's pretty much, I mean, that's not the safest bet. Safest trade that you can take would have been earlier. Especially with the kind of movement we're having. We're having this kind of wishy-washy back and forth movement in the market right now. Absolutely, Shirley. It's my pleasure. That's why I'm here. Got a passion for this. Passion for trading and a passion for people. So thanks for placing your trust in me. Let's see if it's going to give it to us this time. And Mike, you're free to let me know. Just send me a message on Tribe Forex on the actual website if you wanna meet up with me. I'm meeting up with a couple of our members in London while I'm there. So I know it's a bit away from you, 60 miles you said, but love to meet you. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, V. V recommends that we do an annual tribe meetup. I think that's a great idea. Let's take that on for next year for sure. We'll do like a conference and really just, you know, trade together and stuff. That'd be awesome. That's a great idea. Let's do it in the sun in Miami. and then partay. Yes, my friend. Yeah, I think, yeah, ATC would be great. And you can just let them know that, you know, that I recommended you. Just say Marcello from Tribe Forex. I haven't worked with them in a while, but I think I'll be sending a lot more business that way, especially if we get this thing going. If it works with them, I'll talk to them about that. Okay, Nino mentioned that other software on our computer, if we use the computer for other things, may possibly affect the outcome of the algorithm, the software, the trading software. Just wondering your thoughts. It really comes down to just one thing here. You know, whether your computer is going to be, the internet connection is going to be affected in any way, and if the program is going to shut down your computer. The most important thing that I think that holds a lot of people back in kind of allowing the software to work is that they have the auto update function on their Windows set to automatic. That's a problem, because what's going to happen is it's going to shut down your computer during trades. And obviously, if your computer is not on, the construct in which the algorithm works, you cannot manage a trade. So that could be very detrimental to your account. And that's something that you want to be wary of. So you got to turn that auto update off, and you've got to update on the weekends. Okay? That's what you're going to want to do when we're not on. Oh yeah, guys, looks like we're getting there. We're right there. That TP again. This is why I don't like to sit around and wait for this stuff. Can you blame me? That's why we designed this. This is the kind of stuff. This is why I learned how to program, spent thousands of hours learning how to program so that I don't have to sit in front of a computer and watch these shenanigans of the euro dollar. You know, so Shirley says she's getting a new computer today to keep up with everything. Any suggestions? My suggestion is, you know, it really doesn't matter. You don't need a super high-tech computer unless you would intend on doing crunching numbers like, you know, like Fred and I do for the algorithms, you know, to come up, make sure that the strategies are working properly that we give you. Oh, there it goes. There it goes, guys. It hasn't hit on, it hit on one of my accounts, but not on the other account. Let's watch this one. This one's probably got to drop just a little bit more, and then it's going to take off. Yeah, that's a quick. Look at that. Okay, here we go. We're about to hit TP. Finally. You see how much farther below this is than the actual line? It's because the ask price hasn't hit quite yet. That's the issue. There it goes. Now you see what happened here, guys? Now we're in profit. We just took profit on this thing, and it just moved to break even automatically. Beautiful is what I like to see. Beautiful execution, and it just went straight to break even now. We're going to run a 5-bar trailing stop is what we're going to run on this thing. Just let it run. If it does move down, it moves down. If it moves back to break even, you know, we're good with that, right? So we hit our first TP. That's great. So all in all for the day, you know, we had a lot of movement. Yeah, it is, Shirley. It helped. That's why I like to do it live, because it's important for you guys to see the wins live, like right there, so you can see yourself taking them. Okay, so let me answer your question first, and then let me get back to what I'm talking about. You too, Mike. Thanks for coming. Good to have you in the room. Thanks for your contributions. Like I was saying, Shirley, your computer, yeah, it doesn't have to have a tremendous amount of power to run the kind of things that we're running here, but it's good that it does. So if you wanted to expand out and really and as you get to learn more and you're a part of the tribe and become a more senior member, you're going to want to get into the actual strategy development stuff, probably like, you know, like I said, Fred and I do specifically, and that's when that's going to come in handy, right? You just want to make sure that with your new computer that you do set it to not do automatic updates, because it's going to shut down your computer, shut down the software, and you could be in the middle of a trade, and that just doesn't work now, does it? It's just not going to work. And so, like, what I'm going to get back to your other comment is, yeah, so it's really great to watch this live, and this is one of the reasons we do it. Listen, the reason why most people lose there are two reasons why, from a psychological standpoint, why people lose in Forex. Number one is they just don't have what we call trading integrity. There's a loss of that. Okay. And trading integrity just basically means that you take trades according to your own plan. So whatever your plan is, you actually just trade it. That's a big problem for a lot of people because, you know, the market maker, the way he works is that he moves price against you so that he can get the majority, 90% of people, to react to the market. And as long as you react to the market, have you ever been in a trade, it's gone in the direction that you thought it was going to go in? Or, I'm sorry, it went against you really hard, and then as soon as you get in or out of that trade based upon that big move, it turns right back around and goes in the opposite direction, as if they were looking at your little account. They're not looking at your account. You're just reacting in the same way that 90% of all traders react. And so they are being just like, they're like sheep being led to the slaughter, you know, if you will. And so that's why we use a lot of automation, and that's what happens with people. Even if they're using automation, they don't stop themselves from being a part of that. They stop the software. That's one. Secondarily, the other thing is that a lot of traders don't even believe in themselves that they can win, okay? And they think it's personal, but let me tell you something, that trading's not personal. It never will be. It never has been. That's what I love about it. It's not about you or me. It's not whether we're winners or losers. It's if we do the right things, if we take the right action, if we hit the button at the right time to open a trade and then hit it again at the right time to close a trade. That's all. And so by using right action and you seeing that, you know, you can win just by following and using right action. And don't worry, you're not going to lose. You're not going to win every time. It's just it's never going to happen, right? So don't worry about the trades that you lose. Just keep on taking right action. And at the end of the day, when the dust settles, you're going to be, you're going to come out as a winner if you've done right action. It's a reality. But a lot of people and a lot of traders, especially new ones, don't believe it's possible to make money this way, to have a lifestyle this way. And that's why I do this trade room, even though, to be honest with you guys, I don't need to be in here to make money. I would just set this thing up, see a trade that I like, and set that line where it needs to go, and I would walk away. But I'm doing it for you because you need to see those wins. You also need to see when we lose what that looks like, right, and how we react to it, okay? Because there are going to be some trades that don't go our way. That's why we use proper risk management, because they're not always going to be winners. So by seeing the winners, you can see that you have the same system. You have the same you've got everything I've got. And you have the exact same system rules. We could have taken the same trade. And many of you did take this trade. So I'm glad that we did that. We made some money. Equity is up on our accounts. Was not an easy trading day. The market really did jump around a lot, especially in that European session. It didn't look great for us. But, you know, at the end of the day, it came back to where we wanted it to. Even using our bias trades, we're in positive territory right now on those trades as well. Your dollar Swiss is currently up. Just to finish up this session properly. 128.75 was our sell on the euro dollar. We moved it up. Yeah, bond, we moved it up because there was another opportunity there for us. This is what we call, and this is what I want you to get. If you look at in the FX Training Center, I have a trading course there. Okay? That trading course is the foundation. It is a cornerstone of everything that we're doing here. If you go through the modules in the training course, you're going to get this. When I say a sell bias, I give you an exact number. You don't have to use that exact number. That number is going to be right about 80% of the time. But when the market comes through that point, we can still have other opportunities and make more money. Okay? Because if you still have a sell bias and you see a pod there, a point of decision, the same way that we did here, you can absolutely take another trade. And that's exactly what we did. So we just doubled our profit, or we're increasing our profit here on this trading day, which would have been, an okay trading day. So when the market comes through that point, we actually have another opportunity, potentially. So do your homework. I mean, you don't have to. You can just trade according to the trading signals I give you. But if you do your homework, you can actually make more money in the long run. Okay, so yeah, bond, we did move it. We moved it up from 28.75 to 129.00. But it was just a secondary trade. Give you another opportunity. All right, so having said that, so 128.75, we're up in profit on the euro dollar. Dollar Swiss is up in profit now as well, which it's in positive territory from 93.58 to 93.80. It's up 22 pips. Pound dollar is currently in profit, 163.80. Look, it's back below the line again. Okay, this is where our first profit target was and our first ability to make money. And then it's now giving us another shot at it. The dollar yen, obviously, definitely in profit. We had 108.56, and that is up from where it started. Aussie dollar just, oh man, it's killing it. Just killing it. Great trade on the Aussie dollar. We started, our buy was at 88.97. Our sell, sorry, it's a sell. 88.97, and it's currently up about 51 pips, 52 pips. You can see it's still dropping. Beautiful. Just beautiful. We didn't take a New Zealand trade. We didn't take a euro yen trade. We didn't take a pound yen trade. But we did take a dollar CAD trade, and the dollar CAD, we took a buy at 1.1026, and you can see here that it's moved up. It's actually positive now. So we'll see how that ends up for the day, because it could be a neutral day for the dollar CAD, because it really hasn't done a tremendous amount, but it's in positive territory. So guys, it looks like almost all of our trades are positive. So if you use that with the bond, if you use the auto bias, you didn't have to do anything else. You're just getting started. You're just learning the system. Use the auto bias. It's got a big stop loss, big take profit. It's just going to run that way. And that's the best advice I can give you until you really get it. You come to more of these sessions. If you have any concerns or questions, asking senior members, other senior members, that sort of thing. Richard, glad to have you here. Welcome to Tribe Forex. And yeah, we basically do this right now. Was what I was saying. We do it one time a week. So it's been Tuesdays, 1 a.m. in the European session, and again at 8 a.m. in the New York session. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate you guys' feedback. So if people want more sessions, you have to let me know. So just by giving me feedback, if enough people want that, then I'll make that happen. Okay, so a couple of people have mentioned that they really enjoyed it, and they wondered how many sessions we do of this. When we don't do these sessions, guys, you can still talk to senior members. You can contact us, and we can get someone maybe to get a session with you or whatever it's going to take for you to be successful. All right? So just let us know. Give feedback right there on the website. And that's why I have this website. My last model, I was too distant, too far away from people, and I wasn't able to really communicate with them. I had just EAs. I was doing EAs, and it's just not, it doesn't allow me to communicate with you guys enough and get feedback for what you need. I've been doing this for a long time. I can miss, what may be whatever you need at your level. So really quickly while I'm on this, I have so we have there's a couple things I want you to see here on the website. Okay, I've got the live trading chat, which that's thanks to Fred, we've gone ahead and implemented. And basically, guys, you can always write in here, and it's like real time, right? All the messages come up in the live trading chat, and you can pop it out. So if you want to look at it all day long and see what other people are doing, you can just pop it out here. Oh, that didn't work, did it? It's taking its time. That's a first. All right, I'll check on that. But you can pop it out, put on your desktop while you're working or whatever you're doing, and it'll be just there for you without you actually having to, be right there on the website. Everyone can write in this live trading chat. Okay. Now, of course, you can write here and post whenever you have any questions, and one of the tribe members is going to answer you. Right? So if you think you have an answer, that's what you're going to want to do, is you're going to put it there. FX Training Center. Really, really, really important stuff, guys. We took a lot of time to put this together, and although I'm a little bit behind because of my travels and I've been doing a lot of seminars lately, we put in here a lot of information about the trading sessions. And about so I'll put this trading session up. I think I've recorded it. I'll try to find a place to put it. And we also have the FX Continuing Education module where I'll put like new information in there, like information about candlesticks maybe one day or about whatever. Okay. We also have the FX case studies where I'll take one trade per week and actually dissect that for you. So we'll do the FX case studies. That's always good. It's a good one as well. Okay. And of course, the Ultimate Trading Course. So if you haven't gone over the Ultimate Trading Course, FX Ultimate Trading Course, you're going to want to tap on that and go over the Ultimate Trading Course. Okay. So I'm going to continue to put more information in here. Every week I put a new case study in, which means it's a trade that I choose that I actually I'll talk about that trade. I'll just talk about what the process was to go through it. It's really short, really straight to the point, simple. I think I'm going to do those at a regular time so that people can actually join us in those if they'd like to. I'd like to get feedback about that if you want to do that. So consider that, guys. And really, right now, I just started this text message sign up. I'm just getting that started. This is really running slow. It's basically in its beta phase. So I'm just trying to figure out if this is something that the community would love. So you get all of your day trades or all of your trading signals right there to your cell phone. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in London, here in the U.S., Canada. It really doesn't matter. We can accommodate you wherever you are. Yeah. And if there are questions that you have, guys, below those case studies that I place and the continuing education, any of the videos, simply leave a message. Give me feedback. Oh, that was great. Or you can say, hey, I would like to know this. Can you add, this particular analysis to that, or ask questions that you may have? Then I will, or one of the tribe members will answer you as far as, if they know the answer to it, or if it's a question directed to me, then just put @ and then Marcello, Ducil, and then you'll be able to, I'll get that immediately. I'll be able to respond to it. Okay? So that's it. We got a lot of stuff going on the website. The last thing I'd love to add is what I was talking about, guys, which is basically a trade copying program which would allow you to develop a track record while we're doing this. Be able to make money while you're learning how to trade and watching this thing happen and watching us make money, right? So we're working on that. Give feedback. Always post on here. Send me a private message. Whatever needs to be done, just go ahead and get to it. If you need anything, let me know. Be in communication no matter what it is. And I think that's it for this trading session. Let's see how far we've gone down on this euro dollar. Yep, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful sell. We're going to let that run. We got a 5-bar trailing stop on it right now and just see where it turns. All right. All right, guys. We'll see you. Let me know if you guys want to know when we can do a Q&A session. I know Shirley says Sunday. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. If we have enough people to say Sunday, I'll do it on Sunday. Why not? We may even take a trade or two if there are opportunities there. Right? So if people like Sunday, I'll do Sunday. Why not? All right, guys. Talk to you soon. All the best. Awesome, V. I'm really excited about that. Doing the Landmark Forum. That's amazing. Awesome, Richard. Good to know. Thank you. Really excited about you doing that, V. Let me know how that turns out. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.